All right, well, let's get this party started. And we, as usual, are going to kick it off with talking about something that's really important because we need to get this ingrained in our system. I mean, to the point that every day when we wake up, probably one of the first things that we think about is what is my productivity model for today and how am I going to run my business today? We are in a business called Your Real Estate Career. I know a lot of us get into real estate thinking I'm going to give this a try. I'm going to see how it goes, or I can't find a job, so let me try this while I find a job. There's so many different reasons that we get into real estate, but the bottom line is that if you run it like a business, you're going to make business money. The expectations is above everything. What is your expectation about your business? What are the goals that you want to reach? You want to break it down to 90-day cycles. Just like a season, you got to break it down into 90-day cycles. The rubber meets the road on the skill sets. That is where you either win, lose, or fall flat on your face, and then you got to get back up. But the good news is that you get an opportunity to recognize and realize that, hey, I need to get better at my skill sets, because skill sets is everything. Skill sets is going to build your confidence. And that's why I cannot emphasize enough. You have to walk, talk, breathe, live, think 24/7. Where are my skill sets? Now, here's the secret about skill sets. They're not going to get good behind your desk. They're not going to get good at the office. You're not going to build your skill sets unless you're out in the field. And skill sets are going to give you something that is very powerful, and that is your confidence. Number two, in the productivity model, the second pillar is knowing how to do things. We've been going through several weeks already in this agent productivity coaching on the things that you're supposed to do. Your responsibility as a business owner of your career and what you do and how you do it is to be able to learn this, right? I teach, you learn, your job is to learn, but then you got to take it to that next step and is practice it. You're only as good as you practice. You're only going to play at the level of your practice. How well are you practicing? If you are learning the information and you are not practicing the information, then you are going to be at a disadvantage, at a huge disadvantage, because without the practicing, it is impossible for you to internalize what you're supposed to be doing. And then number three is you have to contest it. You got to learn the stuff that I'm teaching you to the point that you can literally teach it to someone else. When you are able to teach it to someone else, then that's when you know that you have, number one, internalized it. Number two, you have learned it, and you sharing it or contesting it or putting it to practice is where you're going to come in and be able to show that, hey, not only have I internalized it, not only do I know what to say and how to say it to my prospects, right, at the open houses, wherever I'm meeting the people that I'm talking to, because your job as a real estate professional is to find the people and talk to the people. But now I'm able to do this at a level where I don't even have to think about it. The third pillar is accountability. Who is holding you accountable? I can tell you right now, if no one is holding you accountable on your tracking, that means how many appointments, how many are showing up, what's happening to those that showed up, how are you following up, what's happening to your day-to-day daily method of operating, then it's going to be impossible for you to implement at a high level. In this market, my friend, in this moment, and for the next 24 to 36 months, implementation is everything. Having someone holding you accountable is everything. Getting the feedback from someone else that's going to tell you the truth. I read a post that my favorite coach wrote the other day, and he said, if you're looking for a leader, you got to know that a leader is someone that's going to tell you the truth. They're not always going to be your best friend, because you're not going to see them as your best friend. A leader is one that's going to tell you the truth. A leader is someone that is going to help you navigate. A coach is someone that's going to tell you, you got to pick it up. You got to level up. You're playing too small, or you have to, better your game, or maybe even get on your A game. If you're looking for someone that's just going to appease you, give you that ego massage, then you don't need a leader. You don't need a coach. You need a BFF. And a BFF is never going to help you execute at a higher level. So accountability is everything, because it's going to give you the feedback that you need so that you can improve, so that you can repeat at a higher level. Write that down in your playbook. I hope all of you have your playbooks. It's going to help you perform at a higher level. And last but not least, let's talk about results. What are the results you've gotten in the last week, the last 2 weeks, the last 3 weeks? You got to look at your results. All of us are measured by our results. Put in the chat for those of you that are connected, on a scale from 1 to 10, where are you with your results? Where are you with your results? So you have to have a moment of, transparency and humbleness and say, you know what, I'm not really implementing at the level that I should be. I'm not playing at the level that I could be. What are the objectives? I always want to remind you, there's no reason to bring more information and fill you with information-itis unless you are already at a level where you are performing. And I can tell you already for teaching, by teaching this for over, 5 years, this 12-hour certification that I'm breaking down in the agent productivity, the Prodigy's path to success right now is something that is not new. I'm not reinventing the wheel. I'm not testing this. This has been tested, contested, and proven to produce results. And the first thing is you have to start thinking like a real estate entrepreneur. You have to start thinking like a business person. And a business person wakes up every morning, write this down, and makes a decision, makes a clear, concise decision as to what am I going to do today to go to that next level? What am I going to do today to perform at a higher level? So if you're still, Lucy, how do I know if I'm still agent-minded? You do the things that feel good. You do the things that are comfortable. You do the things that you feel like doing, even though you know you're supposed to be doing a lot of things that you just don't want to do. Agent mindset people are those that find all the reasons and all the excuses. Write this down, to not do what they know they need to do when they know they need to do it because they don't feel like it. If you're still stuck in that bubble, then I'm here to tell you the truth. You are stuck in the agent mindset. Real estate entrepreneur people are people that do whatever it takes, whether they feel like it or not, whether the sun is shining or not, whether, the stars align properly or not, whether their friends are doing it or not. They do the boring, write this down, the boring, monotonous things that produce results. I can tell you right now, it's going to be boring. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not always going to be, fun. Like Coach Michael Burt says, real estate entrepreneurial minded people activate themselves and push themselves beyond their limits. You've never seen anyone win a championship by just doing enough. You've never seen anyone win a championship, but just giving it, enough. You have to go above and beyond. Number 2, what are those habits? Talk to me about your habits. Once we reach the 6-week mile mark, we are going to get into an intimate space where I'm going to invite you to really let's disintegrate what you've been doing for the last 6 weeks, because this agent productivity, Prodigy's path to success, is a proven formula. If it's not working for you, you need someone to help you navigate. Where are you stuck? Where are you talking yourself out of the things you're supposed to do? Who are the people that are speaking into your life, and who are the people that are leading you from the front? Guys, find people that are where you want to get to. Write that down. I must surround myself with people that are where I want to get to. And the problem with real estate is that most of the time, I would say 90% of the time, it is the people that are not getting the results that try to talk other people out of doing what they're supposed to do. Because as they say, misery loves company. So tell me about those habits. What are the results that those habits are producing? How do you work smarter and not harder? You got to build momentum. Write that down. I have to build momentum. I've got to go through 90 days. I have to be willing mentally, spiritually and soulfully. Write it down. You got to get your mind, your soul, and your spirit in it. You got to play all out. And you have to get to the point where you build momentum. So you have to determine and dominate yourself. Guys, let me tell you the truth. You cannot dominate the market if you're not able to dominate yourself. You cannot dominate the market if you cannot dominate yourself. There is no way that you're going to dominate the market if you are not able to dominate yourself. It takes a lot of discipline to play at a high level. Top producers make it look simple because it is, but they also make it look easy even though it's not. Write that down. Top producers make it look simple because it is simple. We're not, we are not reinventing the wheel. It is a proven path to success. And they make it look easy, but it is not easy. So you have to know the vision of your business is the next objective. Talk to me about the vision of your business. Where exactly is it that you want to get to? What exactly is it that you want to do? How exactly are you going to get there? What does it look like? What does it feel like so that you can get there? The power of your identity in the marketplace. Who are you in the marketplace right now? Are you a known agent, or you are a lone agent? Are you someone out there floundering? Write that question down. That is one of the most basic questions you have to be able to answer. Am I a known agent, or am I a lone agent? Lone agents get nowhere fast because lone agents are not able to understand where it is that they're getting to, what it is that they need to do. Lone agents need someone to follow. The power of your identity in the marketplace is everything. Also, your skill sets. I said it before. That's why it's part of one of our pillars, your skill sets. Your skill sets are everything because they're going to determine your confidence. And last but not least, outstanding performance. You have to outstand beyond everybody. I don't know what company you're working with. I don't know what team you're with. I don't know where you're at. I don't know what you're doing, but here's the thing you need to know. The difference between interested and committed is a fine line. You're either interested, that means you do it when it's convenient. You do it when you feel like it. You do it every now and then. You do an open house every couple of weeks. But when you're committed, you focus on the daily method of operating. Write that down, your daily method of operating. Let me say this again. If you have leads, and I know all of us have leads, if anybody tells you they don't have leads, they don't understand what a lead is. Write this down. A lead is a seed. A lead is a seed. A lead is someone that is over the age of 18. Write this down. Over the age of 18 or older, that is able to make an adult decision to buy or sell real estate. Write this down. I want to bring clarity to you because a lot of times we don't understand what a lead is. A lead is a seed. It is anyone over the age of 18 that is able to make an adult decision of either buying or selling real estate. And why is that important for you to know? Because that seed, that lead that you connect with, okay, can lead you to 6 other people. That's why I can tell you, you have leads. We all have leads because a lead is a seed. It is someone 18 years or older, that is able to make an adult decision to buy or sell real estate. And you connect with them. You have a conversation with them. You have those people somewhere, whether it's in your phone. Okay, everybody has over 100 leads in their phone. And then that person, that lead, that seed, that is 18 years or older, that can make an adult decision to buy or sell real estate, that you connect with, is going to lead you to write this down, 6 other people. Your job is to ask them 6 times, who do you know that I can help buy or sell real estate right now? Write this down. I'm giving you a phenomenal script right now. Hey, who do you know that I can help buy or sell real estate right now? Write that down because I have a goal before the end of the year to help 25 families accomplish the dream of buying or selling real estate. I have a dream, I have a goal, I have a vision, I have a desire to help 25 people buy or sell real estate. Okay, so that is the best script that you can call and tell everyone. Now, here is the magic. Here's where the magic begins. Studies have shown, and I want to break it down again because you need to remember this. This is your formula to success. You need to remember this. It's going to take at least 6 attempts to contact a person. Write that down. 6 attempts to contact a person. Okay? You're going to increase your chances of contacting a person 90% by reaching out 6 times or more, but at least 6 times. if you're going to be in real estate, you got to learn to play this game. Otherwise, you have to make other decisions. Maybe real estate is just not for you, because there's nothing more painful than being in real estate and not making money. Now, I'm not talking about going a season or two without making money, because it's going to take 90 days to build your production. It's going to take another 90 days to build that momentum. That's 180 days. That's 6 months right now, right there. But you need to understand, how do you play the game of real estate? 90% increase in connecting with someone when you attempt it 6 times. Now, let me show you where most average or below average real estate agents play at. They only contact the person one time. They only reach out one time. Less than 10%, write this down, less than 10% of real estate agents are contacting their leads or making 6 attempts. Okay, 6 attempts. The contact is when you have the conversation. That's why the anatomy of lead generation is so important, because it's not just about, oh, the formula, here's what you do, here's how you do it, here's what needs to happen for you to work leads. You can go on YouTube and find all the phenomenal YouTube videos about what to say, how to say it, what people are doing. But if you don't understand the anatomy of how this works, that's where you're not going to be able to leverage those scripts. Because it's one thing to know what to say, it's another thing to know how to get to say it. How do I get to say it? How do I get to connect with these people? So it's very important that you understand, and that's why I wanted to go over this once again, and we're going to keep going over it again and again and again and again and again, because practice makes perfect. Repetition helps you internalize. Less than 10% of the real estate agents out there are making those 6 attempts. So if you want something different, you got to do something you've never done. If you want to have something you've never had, you got to do something you've never done. And that leads us to the number one thing, and this is why you have to elevate your skill sets. It's because your skill sets are going to give you confidence. Your confidence is going to be transmitted through your body language, because 55% of, let me ask you a question. For those of you that have been connected for the last couple of weeks, are you more aware now of how you are speaking, what you are saying, how you're positioning yourself when you are speaking to people? Are you more aware now of what you're doing when you're speaking to people? Because 55% is body language. 55% is body language. Body language is 55%. Remember, what you're saying is only 7%. What you are saying is only 7%. So you have to focus more on the body language, and you're only going to be able to scale that through confidence. And confidence comes from your skills. Write that down. Your confidence level is based on your skills. Okay. The anatomy of real estate in lead generation is capturing leads. I already told you what is a lead. You want to remember what is a lead, like you remember your name, your date of birth. Your job is to capture leads every single day. Your job is to capture leads every single day. Those leads are going to give you the conversations that you need to have so that you can then move into creating appointments. So let me ask you this question. How many appointments did you have last week? That is a huge, 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 important question you must ask yourself right now. How many questions did you capture last week? Think about that and write that down. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds. I'm gonna give you a couple of seconds to think about that. How many appointments did you capture last week? How many appointments did you go on? Think about that. How many appointments did you go on last week? Because if you're not going on appointments, then it's going to be impossible for you to make the implementation that you need to have to be able to play at a high level. And you're not going to be able to have the practice. And I hate to call it practice, because we should not be practicing with our, with our customers, but that's where implementation comes in. Implementation comes in in you being in front of the customers, being able to, speak with them and contesting or testing what you have learned. That is where you need to get to. Those appointments are going to help you to know what level you're playing at. And that's going to get you to closing more deals. Are you with me? That's going to help you to closing more deals. Now, I want to just review real quick recap because I want to make sure that you're understanding this. In the anatomy of lead generation, there are tactics and there are techniques. I want you to remember, I want you to be conscious of what are the techniques that I'm using and what are the tactics. Now, what is the difference between the two? Technique is what you do. Technique is what you do. That's why it's so important for you to be at appointments. Tactics is how you do it. How are you doing what you do? How are you doing what you do? How are you doing what you do to be able to capture the attention of your customers? How are you doing what you do to be able to capture the connection with those customers? The level of skill determines how effectively you do it. So every time you're out there, you need to be very aware, what am I doing and how am I doing it? And my skills is what's going to determine the level that I do it at. So I want to remind you, how did you mirror those customers last week? Or how are you mirroring the customers? Because in connecting, which is the first C, it's mirroring the people that you are talking to. It's harder on the phone. It's easier in person. How are you matching them? How are you matching the people that you are connecting or talking to? Now, in my world, my job is to meet real estate professionals. My job is to connect with real estate agents, team leaders, brokers that want to take their career to the next level. Okay. Your job is to meet buyers and sellers, or if you're a team leader looking to grow your team, then your listings and your sales are also going to be other agents. So we do exactly the same thing regardless of, where we want to take our business, but everything begins with lead generation. Are you asking enough questions? What are those questions that you're asking? And let me tell you, a lot of us don't ask enough questions. You would be amazed how many times I ask an agent that went on a listing appointment. So who are the agents that this seller is going to be interviewing for the job of selling their home? And they say, I don't know. I did not ask that. Write this down. That is your number one question. You cannot walk out of a listing appointment without knowing who your contenders are. How are you going to stack up against your competition if you don't know who it is? Is it someone from Century 21? Is it someone from Coldwell Banker? Is it someone from KW? Is it someone from an independent company? Is it someone from one of the cloud-based companies? Is it a team leader? Is it a solo agent? And it's so easy for you to do intelligence on your contenders. You want me to tell you how easy it is for you to do intelligence on your contenders? It is called the MLS. You go on the MLS, you look them up, write that down. Go on the MLS, look them up, and you can find everything you want to find out about an agent. And then you are able to position yourself to win. You're able to position yourself to win with that person, but you cannot leave a listing appointment without asking the number one question. Who are you, or who else will you be interviewing for the job of selling your home? When you're working with a buyer, I can't imagine, I can't even fathom. And I remember that when I didn't know any better, I wouldn't ask these questions because I was playing at a very low level. But if you're working with a buyer, the number one question you must ask, write this down. How many other homes have you seen out there that you like? How many other homes have you seen out there that you like? How many homes have you seen out there that you like? Why do you want to ask this question? Because the moment they tell you they've seen 1, 2, 10, 20, 100 homes that they like, you already know they're either talking to another for sale by owner, or to a for sale by owner rather, or to another agent. And then you follow up that question with, well, may I ask who showed you those homes? You have to reposition yourself. And that's why I start off by giving you the 4 pillars of productivity. I start off by giving you the objectives. And the number one objective is you have to stop performing like an agent and you have to start performing like a business owner. So I gave you the two most powerful questions for listings and for buyers. And if you start off with those questions, you continue from there. You listen and you ask more questions. The problem is we don't listen to ask more questions. We listen to respond because we have such low confidence sometimes that we are just scared out of our boots. And we're thinking, what do I say? 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 Because you haven't practiced, because you don't know your scripts, because we're low level at objection handling, because you haven't been implementing at a high level, you haven't been executing at a high level. So you're sitting there listening to them answer the question, but you're not listening to ask a question. Your brain is just telling you, oh my God, what am I going to say next? That's why skill set is everything. So you listen to ask more questions. You put yourself in their shoes, empathy. You put yourself in their shoes. Magic happens and door opens when you put yourself in other people's shoes. Write that down. Magic happens and doors open when you put yourself in other people's shoes. So if you're talking to a seller, your job is to find out what is it that they want to get out of selling their home. The price. Where are they going to next? Write this down. The price. Why is that price important? I am amazed how many agents go to a listing appointment or a listing interview without a net sheet. Don't be an agent-minded person. Be a business-minded person. Business-minded people, the numbers are everything. You have to show them what they're going to get. Listen, I've had sellers tell me, number one, I'm not going to list with you. Okay, that's fine. I don't get paid for listing. I get paid for selling. Number two, I want all this money for my home. Okay, great. And what does that look like? Where are you going next? And when will you want to be there? You start asking all the questions. You start chopping down, chopping down, chopping down. And then you get to the truth. So write this down. Your job is to chop down, chop down, chop down. Your job as a real estate business person is to chop down. That means they answer and you chop it down. And you continue, dig deeper, write that down, dig deeper. You are in the business of deep digging. When you get to the point that you become a master at chopping down and digging deep in your conversations with buyers and sellers, boom, magic happens and doors open because you're able to get in their shoes and you're able to understand what is it that they really want out of this. Why do they really want to sell the home? Where are they going to next? Why is that important? Who is that going to involve? Who is that going to affect? And then you put yourself in their shoes, write this down, and you help them dream. You help them dream with being there. Why is the buyer and seller looking to buy a home they can't afford? That's only going to put them in a position of weakness. Your job is to put yourself in their shoes and show them how working from strength is going to be better. Are you with me? Acknowledge what they say. Acknowledge what they say. And I'm going to give you a secret in acknowledging what people say is you allow 5 seconds of silence. Now, let me tell you, if you've ever stayed quiet and the other person you're talking to stays quiet for 5 seconds, it feels like 5 hours. It feels so long. And then you're inside of you, you're like, oh, I have to answer. No, shh. 5 seconds of silence. The magic happens and doors open and you go to the next level when you practice 5 seconds of silence. So you ask a question. So what happens if you can't buy this home right now? And you start counting 1. By the time you count to 5, and I hope you were following along with me, they're going to say something and it's mostly going to be the truth. Oh my gosh, they will say the truth and the truth will set you free. Because the problem with working with buyers, and we're going to get into this a lot more later on because I'm going to bring you guys through listing mastery. I'm going to bring you through buyer consultations, but I'm taking my time in the pinnacle of real estate money-making activities, and it's lead generation because there's leads all around you every single day. Your problem, my problem is we don't talk to enough people on a daily basis. I mean, I want to bring it to the point where you have the guts to raise your hand and say, hey, my name is Lucy Quinones, and I'm guilty of not talking to enough people on a daily basis. I need to talk to more people. I need to find more people that are looking for me on a daily basis, because that's the only thing we need. Once you get to that next level of talking to more people that are looking to talk to you and looking for the people that are looking for you, you will never run out of business. But this is where most agents are out there in that red ocean of competition, chaos, and confusion. Write that down. You're in one of those three, or you're in danger of falling in one of those three, or you need to be aware of never falling in one of those three. Competition, chaos, and confusion. That is what is happening right now in our market. We have competition because we're not playing at a higher level, right? We're not outperforming our contenders. We don't even know who our contenders are. We haven't done any intelligence or investigation on who are the agents in my area. Hold on, what is my area? You know, who am I looking to sell to? Who am I looking to help sell their home? Who is my ideal customer? So we fall into competition. We become chaotic because now we don't know what to do. Chaos. We wake up every morning and we go to bed just, in the rat race, and then we fall into confusion. So we are always in a danger zone of either being in one of those three, right? Or falling into one of those three. But let me tell you, when you acknowledge what people say, they start to open up. Write that down. They start to open up. You want people to tell you the truth. You don't want people to just give you their spiel, and because you're not asking enough questions, then you never get to the truth. So empathy, acknowledge what they say, and then you do it all over. And then you go back to the question that you felt, because when you're connected with your buyers or your sellers, when you really focus on them and not on being scared out of your boots, because, oh my God, what am I going to say? I don't know what to ask. You're sweating bullets. You're not thinking clearly. But when you're able to connect with them effectively, efficiently, and at the soul set, at the heart set, right? With a lot of skill set, you're gonna find things that you are going to know resonate as important, and you go back to that question. You go back to that question and you dig deeper. The dig deep technique, that is a technique that I've been teaching for 5 years. You dig deeper. Listen, I've got testimonies. I've got stories that I can share with you and prove to you that the dig deep technique works. So again, the anatomy, body language. You are not going to have good posture, confidence, boldness, brightness, and brilliance if your skill sets are low, because it's always going to affect your confidence. So according to Forbes magazine, one of the biggest complaints of customers, and why they say that real estate agents are bad, is lack of communication. And I had to touch on this, because if I'm telling you that the first C is where the magic happens, momentum is built, doors open, and you start to find the truth, then your level of communication is everything. Write that down. My level of communication is everything. If I'm not able to do the last 5 things or 7 things that Lucy just showed me, right? Mirror, match, ask questions, use the last question to come up with another question, empathy, acknowledge, repeat. Listen, this is your homework. Guys, don't tell me you want to take your business to the next level and you want to dominate the market if you're not dominating what you need to learn on a daily basis. And this is it. Your morning ritual needs to be part of that. You wake up in the morning, your morning ritual is, okay, today I need to practice what? Mirroring, matching, asking questions, acknowledging the question, connecting with the customer, practicing empathy, right? Acknowledging what they said, and then repeating that again. One of the biggest things people complain about is realtors' lack of knowledge. And this is according to Forbes magazine. Number 2, lack of leadership. How are you going to come across as a leader if you're sweating bullets, you're umming to death, you don't know what to say, you're not connecting? You know what leadership is? Write this down. Leadership, according to John Maxwell, which I've been learning from since the year 2001, he is the master of leadership training. According to John and many others, leadership, according to Tony Robbins, I just got certified by Tony Robbins in his Leadership Academy in June. Leadership is influence, my friends. When you are able to influence your buyers and your sellers to making the right decision now, to opening up to you, telling you the truth, trusting, liking, and getting to know you, because people will do business with people they like, they know, and they trust. Write it down so you can become. You have to be so you can become. You have to become so you can do what leaders do. And leadership is influence. When you're able to influence your seller to accept the offer they just got, when you're able to influence your buyer to not come in at a low offer, and give them the reasons why. So lack of leadership. And number one way for you to sabotage your leadership, listen to me close, is not portraying confidence. And it's all because you're not practicing, you're not implementing, you're not executing at a higher level. You don't have accountability. No one is giving you feedback. You're not testing and contesting the things you're learning. You're not doing your homework. Or maybe you are just coming up with all these excuses or reasons and justifications why you can't do what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it. So you're never going to build the level of confidence that will set you apart as a leader. Unused resources. One of the biggest unused resources right now is social media. Real estate agents are not standing out. They're not relevant. Write this down, guys. If you are not relevant on social media, you are irrelevant. And you got to shatter the mindset of, it doesn't matter if I post something or not. Yes, it does matter, because people can see the day and the time you posted last. People can see the day and the time you posted last. And if you think that's not sending out a message, let me tell you the truth, because I am your friend. Right? But I'm here to coach and lead you into production. That's why you're here. That's why you're watching this. It does matter. Whether you're sending the right message or the wrong message, it is still a message. So unused resources. How many unused resources do you have right now? What are your resources? And we're going to talk more about that. Too much pressure. Nobody wants to be sold. Write that down. Nobody wants it as a, do you want to list now? That is the most lamest bologna and cheese, peanut butter, and I mean, that don't, it gives me a stomach ache every time I hear someone say, oh, I knock on the door and I ask him, do you want to list or sell your home right now? No connection. Like, who are you? Like, you don't know anything about me. I don't know who you are. I don't know you from Adam. I don't care how much you know until you show me how much you care. And you are coming in with that gorilla salesman's breath. Write it down. Say no to gorilla salespeople breath. There's so many agents out there that sound, look, walk, talk, and act like a salesperson. No one wants to be sold. Everyone wants to buy. But you can't come in with that stinky salesman's breath. So too much pressure. Are you pre-qualified? What kind of a connection question is that? Are you pre-qualified? Bring me into your office. Set yourself apart. Act like an attorney. Act like an engineer. Act like an architect. Act like, a professional. And then act like a doctor. And then ask me all these questions. Guys, I'm giving you what customers have said makes the signs of a bad real estate agent. And last but not least, the infamous follow-up. Do yourself a favor. If you're not going to have a lean, mean follow-up system, don't even waste your time prospecting. I don't know, find something else to do besides real estate, because real estate is all about finding the people, talking to the people, looking for the people that are looking for you, lead generating on a daily basis, and becoming a lean, mean business building machine. That's it. That's all you get paid to do. You don't get paid to do posts on social media. That's additional. You don't get paid to fix your files. You don't even get paid, right, to take your closings from contract to closing, even though you do it. But the thing that really gave you the money was putting that deal together. Yes or no? Of course, you get paid to list and sell real estate. So if you don't have a mean, lean follow-up system, you're lost in the woods. You are dead in the water. Why? Write this down. The fortune is in the follow-up. And let me tell you how many times it's going to take right now for you to be able to make those connections, get those deals closed with people. It's going to take you 36 attempts. It's going to take you 36 attempts for you to be able to make those connections with people. 36 attempts. It's a lot of follow-ups. Real quick, in closing, I'm going to give you 5 things, and then we'll go deeper with this in our next session, of the intelligence that is behind lead generation, and 10 characteristics. 10 characteristics, but today I'm only going to give you 5 of a successful real estate agent. Number 1, local knowledge. I'm going to go real quick because, you know, I felt I needed to spend more time in those first areas of connecting. But real quick, let me just tell you. Number 1, you have to have product knowledge. And this is where a lot of people miss the boat. But Lucy, how am I going to have product knowledge if I don't have listings? Guys, your job is to go out and preview 5 properties every single day. The agents that are brand new in the business that I have that are winning right now, they're previewing 5 properties every single day. There's nothing else for you to do. You're not going to have local knowledge if you don't have product knowledge. You're not going to know anything about the product you're selling if you don't have product knowledge. And you can leverage that and use it in more than 5 different ways to build your business. 5 different ways for you to build your business through just doing 5 property previews every single day. If you don't know how to do property previews, you reach out to our mentorship director at the academy and you say, hey, I want to know more about how do I do these 5 previews every single day. And then you can leverage that and use it in 5 different ways to build your business. Number 2, attention to detail. You have to have a clear game plan in what you are looking to accomplish. Right? You need to know when you connect with that customer exactly the things that you need to do. Connections and representation, networking. Tell me who your connections are right now in real estate. Tell me the tables you're sitting at. Tell me the rooms you're walking into. Tell me the people that you're talking to. Connections and representation. Super important. You must have a list of buyers. That's why prospecting every day is so good. See, you prospect for the wrong reasons. You prospect because you are focused on the result. You prospect because you say, oh, I need to go do an open house because I need to sell a home. No, I need to go do an open house because that is part of my money-making activity. I will meet the people that I'm going to be talking to that I'm looking for because they're looking for me. I'm going to divorce the result of selling the home and I'm going to focus on the process. Because if I do what I need to do every single day, my business and my pipeline are going to fill up and I'll never have to worry about, you know, having one dealitis or focus on just putting deals together. But it's all about those connections. Tell me about the list of buyers that you have right now that you can go tell a for sale by owner. I have a list of buyers looking for a home just like yours in the area that you're in. May I come over and preview your property? Guys, there's so many ways to make money in real estate. But if you are not leveraging the knowledge, then you are not harnessing the opportunity. Write that down. If you're not leveraging the knowledge, you're not going to harness the opportunity. Let me repeat it again. If you are not leveraging the knowledge is everything, then you're not going to harness the opportunity. Tenacity. Listen, no one wants to work with someone that is lame, average, below average, or weak. No one wants to work with someone that is, you know, lame, average, below average, or weak. Of course not. Your sellers and your buyers, they want to feel you. They want to know that you are a world-class agent. They want to know that when they're working with you, they're working with one of the best, if not the best, right? That's why skill sets is everything. And an aggressive yet polite attitude. You know what that's called? Boldness. Being bold sells. You walk in there talking like Donald Duck, like Mickey Mouse, like Pluto. they're not going to trust you. You walk in there talking like Donald Duck with a high pitch because your confidence level is so low. You're like, you want to list your home now? Would you like to meet with me? No. Boldness. Hey, I would love the opportunity to serve you in listing or selling your home. Can I welcome the opportunity to interviewing for the job of selling your home? Can I welcome the opportunity of giving you a no obligation free consultation and walk you through the path of home ownership? When can we meet? Does Wednesday or Thursday at 1 or 2 work for you? With boldness. So an aggressive yet polite attitude. Boldness. How bold are you when you are talking to people? How bold do you sound? Right? Super important. Guys, we are in no rush. I know that if you start to apply, and when you start to apply some of these techniques and tactics that I give you, you are going to see the results. We are not trying this. We are not testing this. This is not a beta test. This is a 12-hour certification that I am dissecting, and I've created Mastering Real Estate, the Prodigy's Path to Success, because I want to make a difference in my community. Whether you work with me or for any other competitor, it doesn't matter. We are in the same industry, and I'm here to bring value. I'm here to help you win. I'm here to help you scale. I'm here to help you grow to that next level. And I welcome you to follow me, whether it's on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, Coach Lucy Q. Ask us about our mentorship program. Ask us about what we're doing to help so many agents right now through mentorship, because mentorship is everything. And I look forward to seeing you next week.